I began to slowly step back. He was standing 7 meters away from me, and it seemed as if he didn't see anything at all. His head jerked up, as if he was trying to catch some kind of smell, as animals do, but he didn't move or even follow me. I went to the fire escape and decided to distract him. I threw a piece of glass in the other direction. It crashed loudly and the dead man went this way, freeing me the entrance to the apartment. With a quiet step, I went inside the apartment and closed the door harder, attaching a bedside table to it. Emotions overwhelmed me. My head was ringing and there was some kind of emptiness inside. It was very cold at home. During the day I never stoked the stove because of the smoke, but I still decided to put some wood in the stove. Then I didn't notice how I fell asleep. I woke up because of a strong cough. I began to suffocate. The whole ceiling was in smoke. I felt the strong heat and the crackling of burning boards. My apartment was on fire. My fortress. What did I do? I didn't manage to extinguish all this. In a hurry, I grabbed my backpack, clothes, a hatchet, a bottle of water and ran outside. I even forgot that I could have bumped into my father at the entrance, but he was not on the way. I was standing at the bottom of the house and watched thick black smoke pouring out of my window. It burned down. All the supplies of food, clothing and water were there. The books were burned too. Now I had to find a new home and start all over again. It was winter outside and this would complicate the task somewhat, but there was one plus: there were no dead people. Or maybe move into one of the apartments in this house? After standing on the street and thinking about it, I decided that this would be the only right decision and was about to go back to the house, when I suddenly heard a sound, the sound of a car. Someone was driving in my direction, but then I remembered my mother's words that you need to be very careful. People are much more dangerous than these stupid dead. I hid behind the nearby garages. A dirty green minivan appeared on the road. These people must have seen the smoke coming from my burning apartment and came to find out what was going on here. The car stopped. Then a man with a thick beard came out of it, with a gun in his hand. He looked around, then looked at the window with smoke. Another man, younger, followed him out.
What do you think?
I think if you don't close the door behind you, our food for the next week will run away right now.
What? Do they have meat? It's probably some kind of animal, but I didn't hear any sounds.
Sorry, Stan. I'm going to close it now.
As soon as he finished and went to the door to close it, the door swung open and hit him in the face. A boy ran out of the car. His mouth was gagged and his hands were tied. He was running straight towards me. Then a shot rang out. The boy froze and fell 2 meters from the garage where I was sitting. Did they kill him? Why? I shrank into the very depths of my hiding place.
A piece of idiot. I told you to close the door. We don't have much time. Take care of him, and I'll go check out this house and what was burning there.
Stan, I'm really sorry.
You're nothing but trouble.
I was sitting in the depths between the garages and couldn't even breathe out of fear. Did they kill this guy to eat him later? God. A man with a beard, meanwhile, as if nothing had happened, went to my house. The other stayed with the dead man. Then he took out a large knife. They harvested meat from a human. I closed my eyes and didn't want to look at this horror. Sitting on my backpack and hugging my knees, I started crying, and then I didn't notice how I fell asleep again.